Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Midday News on 3FM 92.7. My name is Beatrice Adu. The news is also live on Kazmi 107.1 FM and across the world at 3news.com. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. Opposition NPP appeals to Electoral Commission to assert its authority and declare the party's 2024 Ablekuma North parliamentary candidate as winner as it rejects a rerun in 19 polling stations.
So per our records, out of the 62 outstanding polling stations, there are only 3 polling stations results yet to be collated to complete the collation exercise as ordered by the court.
Also coming up, controversial evangelist and founder of Heavenway Church, Patriotic Adu, popularly known as Agrada, convicted for charlatanic advertisement. Meanwhile, Accra High Court dismisses application by Kwabena Edu Buahene and 3 others seeking the full disclosures of national security operational accounts from 1992 to date. And much later, Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, describes Ghana as a beacon of inspiration for the entire continent due to its commitment to the rule of law. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Now, the new Patriotic Party has vehemently opposed the Electoral Commission's decision to conduct a rerun of the parliamentary election in 19 polling stations in the Ablekuma North constituency of the Greater Accra region. The EC has said that the rerun scheduled for July 11 is necessary due to the destruction of original pink sheet during a chaotic collation process and the lack of verification by presiding officers on scanned copies. But the NPP insists that the collation process was nearly complete with only 3 polling stations remaining. The party accuses the EC of inconsistency after previously testifying under oath that results from those stations were all that was needed for a final declaration. The party also said that the EC's sudden shift in position undermines electoral integrity and set a dangerous precedent. Party General Secretary Justin Frimpong Kodia addressed a news conference a while ago.
On 25 December 2024, the EC collated 25 polling station results out of the outstanding 62. The EC then invited all political parties on January 5, 2025, where additional 17 polling station results were collated. And on 6 and 8 January 2025, 13 and 4 polling station results respectively were added to tally, marking a total of 59 polling station results out of the outstanding 62 ordered by the High Court. For the avoidance of doubt, these collations were done in the presence of all parties and verified by the Electoral Commission. So what is the EC telling us now? After going through a process whereby we had reps from NDC, reps from NPP, your presiding officers, your returning officer being there, and even staff from your headquarters to supervise the exercise, you come back to tell us that your presiding officers didn't verify this process. This is totally disingenuous and a mockery to our democracy and a disgrace to the institution Electoral Commission. So per our records, out of the 62 outstanding polling stations, there are only 3 polling stations results yet to be collated to complete the collation exercise as ordered by the court. The EC has on countless occasions, by way of media interviews, press releases, and official statements, maintained that there are only 3 polling stations results to be collated in Ablekuma North constituency. And indeed, there is a video to buttress the point that I'm making.
And you had the General Secretary of the Opposition NPP, Justin Frimpong Kodia. Let's cross over now to our correspondent Armstrong Ali, who is in that constituency, assessing the mood among the electorate. Armstrong, if you can hear me, you're on the ground. How are the constituents reacting to the EC's decision to conduct a rerun across 19 polling stations? Armstrong, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Beatrice.
I was asking you to tell us the reaction of our constituents of Ablekuma North to the decision by the Electoral Commission to have 19 polling station, election rerun, as in election in 19 polling stations.
Beatrice, indeed, a campaign has kick-started here at the Ablekuma North constituency, and if you get here right now, you see people gathered debating on the Electoral Commission's decision to rerun the 19 polling stations. I was here yesterday, and I left here around 11 p.m. late into the night, and indeed, you see people moving from house to house campaigning. This morning, I'm back here again to follow what is happening here, and you see all the political parties, particularly the NDC, going from house to house. You can hardly see that of the NPP moving around the constituency, but that of the NDC is heavily present here. Currently, I'm based at where they load this sand, and you see many of the tipper track workers gathered here talking politics, saying indeed the NDC is going to win or the NPP is going to win, and they are giving different reasons. Others believe that the NDC has done so much well from January to now, hence it's going to be an easy job for the NDC, while the NPP also believes that no, because the NDC has introduced the fuel levy, that is the one seat that is going to make them lose, and the NPP will win the seat. The NPP still believes that this place is a strong seat for the NPP, and the NDC has never won it before, hence it's going to be a done deal for the NPP. So, Beatrice, that is what is happening here at the Ablekuma North constituency. And then I'm told going to the weekend, there's going to be massive campaign from both devices, even though we are also hearing that the NPP said they are not going to take part in the upcoming election. Some of their members are already in the constituencies campaigning.
Indeed, fierce campaigning, like you say, but I don't know whether you had the chance to listen to Justin Frimpong Kodia, the General Secretary of the NPP. The party held a press conference just some minutes ago, and he seems to suggest that the NPP is not for the rerun of the election in these 19 polling stations. Did any of the supporters talk about this beyond the campaigning?
It appears the supporters in this constituency are yet to hear what the party hierarchy have said so far. Those I'm speaking to, they are normal electorate in the constituency. They believe that they are ready for the election, so they are not leaving any chance they just move from house to house and campaign to anybody they see at all, and ensure to encourage them to go to the polls and vote on the 11th of July. Hopefully by close of day, when the information from the General Secretary of the NPP gets to them, they will back down. But for now, I can see some NPP folks in town campaigning door to door, but have not seen any of the constituency executives of the NPP involved in the campaign here, like what I've seen with the NDC, where they are still moving with the constituency executives, moving from house to house campaigning. Beatrice.
Indeed. Thank you very much. Joseph Armstrong Ali is a correspondent currently stationed within the Ablekuma North constituency, monitoring events there following that announcement by the Electoral Commission yesterday that the EC intends to have the election rerun in 19 out of 37 constituencies that were being contested earlier. We'll bring you more as and when we have it. Meanwhile, poster and executive director of the Global Info Analytics, Musa Dankwa, says that the election rerun will not favor opposition candidate. He spoke on TV3's News 360.
Who is going to win? Look, it's going to be very difficult for MPP to galvanize their people to go out there and vote on the 11th. That will be the first hurdle they have to come across. If they are able to galvanize their people to go out and vote, then we may have a competition.
Okay.
If that doesn't happen, I'd expect that NDC guys will be more motivated to go out there and vote. Not because the winning the seat will make any difference to their numbers, but I think both parties may want to make a statement. For NDC, they could say that, look, we have performed so well that people in your own stronghold are giving us more mandate. If they lose it, it could be a very good opportunity for MPP to say that we are trying to rebuild, and the rebuilding and rebranding of the party is beginning from Abdulrahmanov. So I can see both parties fighting strongly for it, but the odds at the moment are against MPP retaining the seat.
And you heard the pollster and the executive director of Global Info Analytics, Musa Dankwa, some 10 minutes past the hour of 10. Now, hour of 12. Now, the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, has described Ghana as a beacon of inspiration for the entire continent due to its commitment to the rule of law and respect for human rights. He also extolled Ghana's first president, Osajifo, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Narendra Modi was addressing Parliament as part of his official state visit to Ghana.
The world is also facing new and complex crises such as climate change, pandemics, terrorism, and cybersecurity. Institutions created in the last century are struggling to respond. The changing circumstances demand credible and effective reforms in global governance. Progress cannot come without giving voice to the global South. We need more than slogans. We need action. That is why during India's G20 presidency, we worked with the vision, one earth, one family, one future. We put emphasis on Africa's rightful place at the global high table. We are proud that the African Union became a permanent member of the G20 during our presidency. Friends, for India, our philosophy is humanity first. We believe in Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Paschantu, Ma Kaschid Dukh Bhag Bhave. It means, may all be happy, may all be free from illness, may all feel what is auspicious, may no one suffer in any way. This philosophy embodies India's approach to the world. It guided our actions during the COVID pandemic. We shared vaccines and medicines with over 150 countries, including our friends in Ghana.
And you heard that the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the Speaker of Parliament, on his part said that the Public Accounts Committee will soon visit India to learn a lot from that country's parliament.
No wonder they established the Public Accounts Committee that we know today as far back as 1921. So in 2021, they celebrated the 100 years of Public Accounts Committee in India. I want to assure His Excellency that our Public Accounts Committee will be visiting your Parliament to understudy your journey and to learn from you. With all humility, crave your indulgence to, on your behalf, please extend our warmest congratulations to His Excellency the Prime Minister of the Republic of India.
And you heard the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, 15 minutes past the hour of 12. This is still the midday news on 3FM 92.7. When we come back, we'll tell you what Dr. Yeye Tamaklu has been saying about dealing with the illegal mining menace. Tangoy.
Hello, Ghana. It's a new year and Bill's Microcredit is here to support your dreams. If you're not working but want to start a business, don't let money stop you. With just your Ghana card, you can get a loan to turn your ideas into reality. Already running a business? Need more capital? Or are you a salary worker looking for extra funds? Bill's offers fast and easy loans with no collateral, no deposit, and no SUSI savings required. Wherever you are, whatever you need, Bills makes it happen. Call Bills Microcredit today. Call 0596 920 833 or 0302 200 390 and get started. Bills is licensed and regulated by the Bank of Ghana. Bills, financing your needs. Terms and conditions apply.
Freezer, yeah, diaba. Adama for diaba, a freezer. Adama, a crafty mensia. Adama, Metimosua, my sorry. Canino, Obo Moasia. I do for the Nobium Unum and San last night. I don't know what we do. Adama for Adama, from what we say. Yet, the Druba Cope, a ship will be a high technology. I go for freezer. When Kwan, and once open your 15 letters. No fugum, what's ya no fugum. What the bus here, for your being what you equal to say, over Timono. Then we sure say, women show Tassia. Then what's enough for now? Freezer, power up a day. Freezer, Tassia, a basson do so among Ammoniaji. Omtina me, Miwasika, Omtina me, but you may not do some doom. Adama, without Adama, no queer. Adama, you can't resist.
Ubenya Adama West Africa for a dream, or baby bear a tongue cry on way you. I say, Kayone Kinkai in Choya, a dream.
And you're still here on the Midday News on 3FM 92.7. Let's bring you some more here. And energy expert and former CEO of the Volta River Authority, Dr. Charles Rekubrobe, has asked the minority leader, Alexander Penyomarking, to account for his stewardship as former board chair of the ECG that led the company to incur a lot of debt instead of criticizing the 1 cedi levy on petroleum products. His comment comes as the GRA announces that the levy will take effect from the 16th of this month, and the minority criticizes it. In an exclusive interview with me, Dr. Rekubrobe said that the minority has no right to talk now because members created the problems Ghana is currently facing in the power sector.
The minority in Parliament, I think, should shut up because the problems we are facing are largely due to the minority's failure to act or act irresponsibly when they were in government. All that is happening in Parliament is an attempt to try and relitigate election 2024 and try to give the impression that everything that is being done successfully under Mahama either started from MPP or was due to some things that we are not convinced about.
Is it how, for instance, the minority leader has been behaving in Parliament a lot of the time, challenging, for instance, Deputy Speaker Hiafo and the others?
The only thing I'll ask the minority leader is that he should account for his stewardship of ECG in 2023-2024. If he is able to account for the huge losses that ECG incurred under his stewardship, we may begin to listen to him.
Dr. Rekubrobe also asked the government to hold all those who mismanaged the power sector to pay the extra wastages instead of Ghanaians.
The irresponsible management of ECG, which have brought in tremendous debts over the last 2 years of 2023 and 2024, that mismanagement should not be charged to the tariffs, but it should be charged to those who were responsible for mismanaging ECG and superintending over the ECG over the last 2 years. And we know who were the ones who were superintendent of a ECG, who are now pretending to let us know what is the right thing to do. If you want to know who superintendent of a ECG, I think you better go and find out. Whatever cost is used or is needed to generate power, that cost should be charged to the power tariff.
And Ghanaians should not be made to pay the 1 cedi levy?
Yes, that instead of paying 1 cedi on petroleum, whatever charge is necessary to buy the petrol should be charged as part of the power tariff. Because, you see, Ghanaians are not stupid. There are enough intelligent people to realize that if you compute and look at what has happened in the last quarter, then if you use the major measures, the power tariff should be going down instead of going up. There should be no increase at all, because the fundamentals which have made government able to reduce petrol price, the control on inflation, the control on exchange rates. Those are two of the major factors which also affect the increase or decrease in power tariffs. So as long as we need an input to produce power, that input, the cost of that input must be charged to the power tariff. And we should not think that everything in this country that requires some assistance or some money has to be just go to increase petrol prices.
And you heard the energy expert and former CEO of the Volta River Authority, now a founding member of the opposition New Patriotic Party, Dr. Yeye Tamaklu, is asking the Ghana Armed Forces to send soldiers to the forest to deal with the current menace of illegal mining. His comment follows an investigative piece by TV3 that shows that food items from Galamsey areas are laced with heavy metals above permitted levels. Dr. Yeye Tamaklu spoke to me earlier.
The people really destroying this country are the kingpins, and they know them. Why they can't go after them is a big problem. The ordinary person in the village cannot afford an excavator. You know the price of one excavator? Those who bring in the excavators are those they should hold responsible. And this is a work of national security. For years, 8 years plus, we have national security who were just chasing citizens. This is their work. There are campaigns behind. The moment you get hold of them, this nonsense will stop. And I have said time and again, the first thing that should be done now is to declare state of emergency. You can't do anything without that. In areas that have been affected or in areas where this destructive operation is going on, you declare a state of emergency, get the soldiers involved. That's why the soldiers are there. Put 2 battalions there. 2 battalions will stop this. I've said about it a year and a half ago, and I'm repeating it. That is their way. Put 2 battalions, infantry battalion there, and let them flush the whole area.
Doc, I'm happy that you're a military man yourself. You trained as a soldier, and the concern is that soldiers are trained to kill. So when you send them to the bush, they'll kill people. Is that what you want?
Listen, those in the villages or those kingpins who have been making their money, the innocent people they have been killing. What do you think about that? The work of a soldier is to act on orders. If it's killing that will solve that problem, they will kill. All you tell them is that flush out anything you see in the forest.
And you had the founding member of the opposition NPP, Dr. Yeye Tamaklu. Now, the Accra High Court has dismissed an application by Kwabena Adu and 3 others seeking the full disclosures of National Security Operational Account from 1992 to date. Lawyers of Kwabena Adu, led by Samuel Atachia, on Thursday, June 26, indicated to the court that they had filed a motion for further disclosures on June 23 and prayed the court to move same since they had already served the Attorney General's office. In the motion filed by the defense lawyers, they are requesting the details of the National Security Coordinator's operational account from 1992 to date, which entails the tenures of 5 presidents. The account consists of the government of President Rawlings 1992 to 2001, Kufuor 2001 to 2009, Atameos 2009 to 2012, Mahama 2012 to 2017, Akufo-Addo 2017 to 2025, and Mahama 2025 to date. Hopefully, we should be connecting with our court affairs correspondent, but lawyer for Mr. Adu Atachia spoke after court proceedings today. Listen.
At the last sitting, the judge said he was going to adjourn the case to the 21st of this month so that will give us a reasoned decision. The Attorney General stampeded the judge and they brought it today. The judge could not give us a comprehensive decision so we can fetch our copies and internalize it. The judge actually said the comprehensive decision will be ready Monday. And now we have been stampeded into saying that then we will do the trial in a week's time. When it is very apparent on the record that documents have been taken out from the witness, statements. Some of the bank statements, they've cleverly removed some. All the things that should help the accused persons so have a full trial so that they'll be given good time to prepare their case. I with them. And the judge is saying that the Attorney General should not give the documents to us. So that then how do we go along with the trial? When all the exculpatory evidence will say, they should bring it. So this is where we are. The case has been adjourned to 18th for commencement. I will not accept day by day because that's not the only case I'm doing. Yes. How are we going to do day by day? Why are they giving this case a special treatment? As if somebody is an indecent haste to send my clients to jail or what? And even documents I need to fight the battle. The court has ordered that they shouldn't give it to me. I don't know what is going on. What is the meaning of fair trial? What is the meaning of exculpatory evidence? The evidence that the AG is possessing that will aid the accused persons, we should be denied them. That's called evidence gagging. How was it that they were able to bring President Akufo-Addo's National Security Coordinator's operation account? Where did they get it from? Why is that the rest of the operational account they don't want to bring it? What document is it in this realm that the Attorney General should not go and fetch?
And you heard the Atachia, his lawyer for Kwabena Adu, former boss of the Signals Bureau. We're joined on the line now by Lord Dasari. He's our court affairs correspondent. Lord, what more can you tell us as regards what transpired in court today?
Well, Beatrice, so like you heard the lead counsel for Kwabena Adu, the High Court dismissed their application. They weren't too pleased with it, but we do not know the reasoning yet because the judge indicated that the full reason of the court will be made available on Monday. Now, the trial is set to start on July 18th. The prosecution led by the Deputy Attorney General, Dr. Justice Remsai, he mentioned that they are going to call some witnesses. He mentioned 3 witnesses that they are going to start with, including the lead investigator in the matter. Now, when the court indicated the dismissal of their application, Thomas Sacha pleaded with the court to grant them a week's adjournment briefly for them to peruse that reasoning and then take steps to either house proceedings and then know what to do, because we're considering even appealing the matter, because at the last agenda he had indicated that there had to be a pattern to be established, for which reason they were asking the prosecution to disclose all the documents, which is the account of the national security from 1992 to date. They insist that the prosecution, with their disclosure of just one presidential tenure, which is the President Nana Akufo-Addo tenure, was disingenuous, and so they wanted to get the entire picture. Now, when the reading is made available, we get to know the legal basis for which the court dismissed that application, because the judge had indicated that the issues border on national security issues. And so we are back in court on July 18, where the trial is expected to begin. But then, like we heard from Tacha, he indicated that they're going to appeal. And so we have quite a long way to go on this matter.
Lord, our time is up, but if you can briefly tell us in like 20 seconds, we understand that Agrada was also convicted. Can you tell us that?
Yeah, she was convicted on charges of charlatanic advertisements and then defrauding by a false pretense. The case was put forward by some of her church members, and this has been spanning from October 2022. She's currently at the hospital undergoing a pregnancy test because she has been convicted of the offenses. So then when we are back, we will see what the sentence is from the court.
So it means that she's actually going to court. I mean, she's going to be jailed. Is that what you're saying?
She's going to be jailed. They're just doing procedural matters by doing the pregnancy test because she's been found guilty of the charges.
All right. Thank you very much, Lord Dasari. He's our court affairs correspondent. Of course, we'll get some more later. Michael Obodu is standing by with the latest in business on Business Daily. My name is Beatrice Adu. Thank you very much for joining us.
And hello there, good afternoon. Welcome to Business Daily here on 3FM 92.7 with me, Michael Obodu. Coming up, Communications Minister announces resolution of data rollout issues.
Challenges that we experienced on day one were quickly dealt with, and by yesterday, everybody on all three networks were able to buy the data.
Also, government releases $300 million to service Eurobond debt. We'll bring you details, and much later. Kotoka International Airport sees decline in passenger arrivals by 10.3% in first quarter of 2025. We'll bring you details of a Bank of Ghana report. Details of these and many other stories coming up shortly. I am Michael Obodu. Please stay tuned. And thank you so much for your time. Straight into our top story. Minister for Communications, Digital Technology and Innovation, Samuel Nate George, has announced that all technical challenges encountered by telecom operators during the rollout of Ghana's enhanced data bundle packages have now been resolved. Since July 1, 2025, mobile data users in Ghana have been receiving increased data volumes at no extra cost under a new policy introduced by the ministry. However, the transition was marred with widespread system disruptions, leaving many users unable to purchase or activate data bundles. Speaking at a press conference, the minister said the issues have been fully resolved and consumers can now enjoy uninterrupted access to data services.
I made a promise to reduce the cost of data, and we have effectively achieved that starting on the 1st, 2 days ago. Let me once again salute the NCA and the management of the NCA for the work that they did with the ministry in ensuring that even challenges that we experienced on day one were quickly dealt with, and by yesterday, everybody on all three networks were able to buy the data.
Samuel Nate George also disclosed that the three major telecom companies operating in Ghana have committed over 100 million cedis, $100 million rather, to improve service quality nationwide.
All three major mobile network operators have agreed to invest a combined $150 million into their networks by the end of 2025 to improve service quality, reliability, and resilience. Enforcement of service quality benchmarks have been mandated to the NCA, with ongoing monitoring started already by the regulator. Our goal is to ensure that data is not a luxury, but a utility. It is accessible and affordable to every Ghanaian. As we accelerate our digital transformation agenda, no one should be left behind because of cost.
That was Minister for Communications, Digital Technology and Innovation, Samuel Nate George, speaking there. Now, government has released $300 million to service debt owed to Eurobond holders, with coupon payments set to be made today, July 3, 2025. The Bank of Ghana is expected to facilitate the payments through its corresponding banks in Europe. There is more in the following three Business News Desk report. The payment is part of government's efforts to resume debt servicing after reaching an agreement with bondholders to restructure the $13 billion debt owed to Eurobond investors. A total of $520 million was released last year to pay bondholders, including a $120 million consent fee. Government concluded the Eurobond debt exchange program in 2024 after almost 100% of the bondholders traded their old bonds for new ones. During the renegotiation, government managed to restructure the $13 billion debt owed to Eurobond investors, which paved the way to resume servicing debts owed the creditors. However, with the servicing of the bilateral creditors, government is expected to commence repayment from 2026. The government's debt servicing efforts are expected to positively impact Ghana's credit ratings and reduce the cost of borrowing in the coming months. This development is also seen as a significant step under the IMF program, which aims to improve the country's macroeconomic stability and risk profile. And that was a three Business News Desk report on government releasing $300 million to service Eurobond debt. Now, meanwhile, government is today seeking to raise 3.36 billion cedis on the treasury bills market, a crucial move as its financing needs persist amidst ongoing fiscal consolidation efforts under the IMF support program. This auction comes at a critical juncture, with the government having missed its targets in recent auctions and a noticeable uptick in interest rates. There's more in the following report.
The last auction saw interest rates inching up marginally, averaging 15%, a trend that is raising concerns among financial analysts. While investor appetite for short-term debt remains robust, the rising cost of borrowing could pose significant risks to Ghana's domestic debt sustainability if not accompanied by complementary fiscal adjustments. Ghana is navigating a challenging economic landscape with the IMF-backed program aiming to restore macroeconomic stability and debt sustainability. However, continued reliance on the domestic market for funding, coupled with increasing borrowing costs, could strain the nation's finances. Government is seeking to mobilize 3.36 billion cedis in treasury bills market. Analysts emphasize that for Ghana to achieve its fiscal objectives and maintain a sustainable debt path, bold and consistent fiscal reforms are paramount.
And that was a three Business News Desk report. Now, the Bank of Ghana has reported a 10.3% year-on-year decline in passenger arrivals at the Kotoka International Airport, KIA, in March 2025, with 98,146 arrivals recorded compared to the over 109,000 in March 2024. However, on a month-on-month basis, tourist arrivals increased by 2.2%. This report has more.
For the first quarter of 2025, total arrivals at the Kotoka International Airport and land borders stood at 295,415, representing a 4.1% decline compared to the same period in 2024. In contrast, international trade at the country's two main harbors, Tema and Takrady, showed improvement, with total container traffic increasing by 22% year-on-year to 73,577 in March 2025. Cumulatively, total container traffic for the first quarter of 2025 rose by 20.5% to 205,145.
And that was the 3 Business News Desk report. Now, the Chief of Staff, Julius Debra, has reaffirmed government's commitment to supporting initiatives aimed at improving the economic prospects of Ghanaian youth. He acknowledged that while government alone cannot resolve the country's unemployment crisis, strategic partnerships with the private sector could yield tangible progress.
Unemployment continues to be a pressing issue in Ghana. The 2023 labor market report shows that 1.4 million Ghanaians were without jobs as of 2022. Government maintains that strong collaboration between the public and private sectors is key to addressing this challenge.
President Mahama is somebody who's really said it publicly. That part of his objective is to create jobs for the people. But we realize that government alone may not be able to create enough jobs. That's a fact. And so whatever he needs to do to support the private sector to enable them to do this, we are doing it. If nothing happens in vacuum. You need to practicalize this and take steps and measures that will make the thing very successful. And this is part of the steps we are taking. The first step we are taking is to grow entrepreneurs by encouraging our students to take interest in owning their own businesses and running their own enterprises.
The Chief of Staff made the comments at the launch of the Junior Chamber, an initiative by the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry in partnership with the University of Ghana.
I think that there are efforts on the part of the university to partner with industry to ensure that once our students finish from here, even while they are here, they understand what it takes to make it in the world out there.
The Chamber expressed confidence in securing government's backing for its initiatives aimed at producing more industry-ready graduates.
We are partnering with the government and we expect the government to support us as